Hello, boys and girls. Same gear for just a few more days. Austere August is almost done. 572 was the count before today. I'm going to add one to that. Midnight Stag from Chiseled Face. The soap, cologne, and splash for today. Timeless stainless steel, 68 gap, open comb base plate is the razor for today. It's got the Nacet blade in it from Gillette. B13 knot from Declaration Grooming. Briar Brushworks and Dogwood Handcrafts handle here. Oh man, I love this knot so much. I wish this handle had another centimeter on it or so. But a lot of face lathers like the maneuverability of the shorter handles, and I got a feeling that's maybe who this one was made for. And let's just do a slurry lather to get today's shave done, and I've got some packing to do and things like that. One little tidbit as I show you the blade. Here is here's the bottle of Midnight Stag Splash that I just finished up, I don't know, a week ago and a few days ago. It doesn't really tell me how many ounces, but I mean, this is a standard size bottle. And then here's their more current model, and it is the font is weird, 3.4 ounces, 100 milliliters, and that's probably the same as this. And just as a point of curiosity, 90 shaves is what I got out of that, and it was used. I got a feeling that at least 1 month of uses was on it before I got it. So let's just say 100 or so shaves is what you might get, potentially, a ballpark, out of one of those bottles of aftershave splash if you use them kind of like I do. And that matches. Once I had a balm, I think it was. I had some kind of aftershave product. Which one did I time out and try to figure it out? Was it a balm or was it a splash? Anyway, but it was about 120, I think it was 120 uses, something like that, 110. You ever notice I tell you I'm in a hurry and then I stop and talk about stuff? Here's the Chiseled Face soap. I just got out of the shower. This is a big knot. Normally with the slurry method you don't shake out this much water, but this knot is so big that I can kind of afford it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 16 sounds about right. I think yesterday I did about 10 or 12 and it didn't quite behave like I wanted it to. I had to go back in for some more loading because this knot is just so big that the soap kind of groups around the outer edges there, and so that made things a little more tough to build up the slurry. See, look, I bet I could still have shaken out more water. Unlike usual, it worked out for me to take a shower before the shave today. So I've definitely got a nice, clean face. Got a little fan going. Since I just got out of the shower, I turned on the fan so that it would clear up the moisture. Nice quick first pass. Just today, not very much tugging. Oh yeah, man, I can tell after that first pass. Nice slickness left on my face. Second pass. On this next pass, we can talk about the direction of growth. Many people like to do a with the grain at first, you know, as the first pass, and then cross grain as the second. Nice slickness there. And then as the third, a lot of people like the against the grain pass, but I can't do that. And so my first one is with the grain, and then the rest of them are basically cross grain. Sometimes different variations of cross grain. And look at that. This is my third or fourth pass, and I've got plenty of lather here. It's great. And it's really slick. So for me, my face is pretty conventional. It goes from top to bottom in terms of the growth. So this is a cross grain pass, and then I'll sometimes add a slant upwards to help with the slicing motion with this old blade. Take care of the easy stuff first, so I'll do the other side now. It's kind of the same direction. It's not a pure from top to bottom growth pattern, but pretty darn close. And so then when I go across my jaw like this, got some weight on me, and so my jaw is not as chiseled as some of you guys. And so it's a nice, you can move your skin up or down to access it if you do have a very corner arrangement on your jaw there. Now since the hair goes down and it starts to turn right here and then across. And so then this becomes a cross grain pass right here. And it's kind of cross grain, and then I'll have to snick up here behind my chin. And then usually I'll start on the other side. This is almost against the grain right here actually. And then I go, this is kind of with the grain. All right, here's cross grain. And because the grain kind of turns and then exits out down here. And now once this section is done, I'll move back over here. This is moving across. This is the direction right here. And so again, just kind of coming up from the bottom, kind of like a tilt is a good way to do a pretty much exact cross grain. Right here is where it gets a little swirly and stuff. And so a safe cross grain pattern right here is this kind of from the middle of my jaw right here toward, you know, this area of my neck, almost a little bit lower than the Adam's apple. And there we go. And then usually I'll have a few stragglers along the bottom edge, and I'll trim those up right there. But see, since the hair grain kind of exits right here, I have to be really careful because that is kind of an against the grain pass right there. You can over pull your skin, you know. Then sometimes the razor will actually cut too deep or lift the hairs too high off your skin. So don't pull too tight. So that's the way my hair grows. And sometimes it takes some planning. It really took me months to narrow down the neck area and which strokes in which places were going to give me less irritation. It just takes a while to figure it out sometimes. Many people have swirls in the neck area, and then the part next to your Adam's apple here doesn't have a lot of support, doesn't have a lot of backbone. Some guys will kind of scrunch their neck down like that to give it a little bit of substance to help with the shaving. Whereas me, I lift my chin up and point it away. That tightens it up a little bit. So you have to employ some techniques like that too. I call them my trouble spots for just years. Was this little area right there. Over here, it's all in the flow and kind of one direction. And so the same area over on this side doesn't give me nearly any trouble because it's not swirly over here. Very nice, very nice. Now time to clean the gear, give my face a good rinse. One interesting experiment that might have been neat this month, since I was using a Badger instead of the boar brush that I usually use, the one that I got from Sterling and Zenith, because we did a custom engraving on it for the wet shaving subreddit. That one is the big B13 from, I think it's the right number, from Zenith. It's that big, like 31 millimeter knot, and it's a monster. And it got to where, because of the residual water, carryover water left in the soap tub, after each load, it gradually, 3 swirls was all it took. If you guys recall last year, then 2 swirls, then 1 swirl. Then eventually I could just dab that brush onto the soap that was inside, and that would be enough to get me 3 or 4 passes of lather, 5 even, because the soap had enough carryover water. And since this brush is just different, it does it differently with the slurry method, I would have been curious to use it all month and see what it would do to... would I get down to that same, just dab it in and that's all I need? Would that happen with this brush? That would have been neat to find out. That is it for the shave, and everything's clean. The 73rd dot, the 573rd dot is now on the card, and now it's time for the aftershave. And we'll go ahead and yank the top off of the cologne because that will be easier to do now than later. I need to clean off my counter here so I have room to put things down. The notes here are leather, smoke, gasoline, and wood. If you like to wash your face before a shave, you can look up some of the other notes that are in the Midnight Stag. Or really, whatever soap you're using. If you happen to really have a favorite soap and a favorite splash you like to use, let's say you want to wash your face. Well, you could get a unscented bar or a lightly scented bar, and of course that's going to work across all different soaps. But if you really want to maybe treat yourself, then take whatever you have, whether it's like History 101 from Summer Break, and look at some of the scent notes on it. If it's, what else do I have here? Here's City Slicker from Sterling. You look at the scent list and find a couple of basic scent notes, maybe even just one. If it's got that at least they're in the stronger part of the mix, stronger ratio in the recipe, then like lavender, wood, amber, any of the orange variants, like what is it, benzoin? No, bergamot and neroli are both kind of orange variants. The citrus, that sort of thing. And you can go out and find a soap that has that particular note in it. And that'll set your nose up as you do a face wash before the shave or a shower before the shave. And then since the perfumer, let's say I find a soap that has wood or mahogany or sandalwood type scent, then because wood is a part of this one very much, then you know it's going to be compatible. It's not going to clash with you, and it might enhance your whole scent experience. So that's a fun thing to do. You can also do something that's complementary, but maybe not included. Like if I have a very woody aftershave and a very woody soap, then then this guy right here, I believe it is. Yeah, this is the witch hazel toner that's lavender scented. So if I have something very ambery and wood, then this lavender really sets it off nicely because it's not very strong at all. It's just a hint. It's just a hint. It's almost unscented, but it sets off those wood and ambery notes really nicely at the end of the shave. So you can kind of bounce back and forth between scents if you don't pick something right along the same vein like wood would be here. Also, knowing that lavender goes so well with wood, it's potential that maybe a lavender face soap might be compatible with, the Midnight Stag, for instance. But lavender is kind of the opposite in concept and mental state as you get to the Midnight Stag. I guess something flowery would be the utter and total opposite of Midnight Stag. But there we go, boys and girls. That was just, oh, yep, see, let's not forget about the cologne. And there we go. Shave is done. Thank you so much for watching. I am Sugar Daddy Shaves, and I have a Slurry Lather shirt full of wet cast off, to bear witness to that. Take care now. Good night.